Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and happy 2023. I know I'm a couple weeks late on that, or maybe even longer depending on when I can edit this video, but I have some super exciting announcements. First and foremost, I am now part of the Lone Star Discs Ranger team. So this is my first round of 2023. It's a crazy winter break. So I haven't been able to get out and play much disc golf, but I've got a brand new bag of Lone Star discs that I'm super excited to try out today. I also want to announce that I'm now sponsored by Disc Thrift, and I've got this awesome hoodie on. You probably can't see because the camera's not letting me, but Disc Thrift is a small, locally owned business in Bloomington that sells a bunch of used discs, which is a great cause. I mean, we all have discs that we don't throw, and especially with me moving over to Lone Star, I had a bunch of discs that I don't throw, and so you can actually resell those and have other people throw some good discs that maybe you don't throw anymore. So Disc Thrift, an awesome business. Huge thanks to them for their support for this upcoming season. So anyway, I'm out at Forest Park in Bloomington, which is my favorite park in the area. I'm just going to be playing 9 holes, gold to gold, and probably throwing 2 off the tee at each one, so you can kind of get an idea of how these things fly. But I'm super excited to try these discs out. First time throwing them, first impressions. Let's hit the course and try it out. Hole 1, gold to gold right here. 350 feet. Normally I throw a beast on this one, but switching the bag over, I'm going to be trying 2 shots with the lariat. I have a Founders Edition and a Bravo plastic lariat, so we'll see how well they fly on this one. Here's the really cool 2023 team stamp lariat. Something tells me I'm going to like that disc a lot. That is basically parked. Now here's the Bravo lariat. This Bravo plastic is my favorite plastic I've ever felt. Feels amazing. Back-to-back park jobs. Let's go. I was a little short with my second lariat, but it's still a great drive on this hole. This is a hard one. Putting with the Jackrabbit. First real putt with it. We'll get one, but head one was pretty strong. Hole number 2 is 333 feet straight up this hill. We've got a little bit of a headwind, so I'm going to go up to my Warbirds. I've got 2 of them, the sick purple one and the sick blue one. Love the swirls on these discs. Both of these are Bravo. Let's just see how they fly. Let them rip. Oh, that was a total yank. Bit short on the second one, but again, there's a headwind. All right, left myself with a bit of an upshot here. Be throwing my harpoon. This is hopefully going to replace the zone. It's a little short, but I think that's fine. Though I haven't made one yet, I really like the way the Jackrabbit comes out of the hand, especially on spinnier putts. That'll be my putting putter, probably. Just for fun. I'm going to try putting with what I think is the blue bonnet. It's misstamped. We'll see how it flies. Yeah, no way that's the bluebonnet, no way that's the bull snake. That is not that stable when putted. So, all right, hole 3. Hole 3 is a shorty at only like 250-ish feet. It's straight and to the right, but the best line is a hyzer. I'm gonna go with the harpoon and the midi. Backhand hyzer route, see if I can't skip close to the basket. The midi was not as overstable as I thought it would be, but that's perfect because that's exactly the stability that my old crows had. And I like being able to have that flexibility with my Lone Star bag, so if there are any other gaps, I can fill those with old discs I had. So that was a nice flight. Here's the harpoon. This is in the Alpha plastic. Bit short and left, that's good. Let's try that again. Getting better. Hole number 4, 248. Up and to the left is a Mando right of that tree. 2 discs I'm throwing of the Chupacabra and the Walker. I'm trying to mix it up for each hole, trying to pick different discs to throw. Pretty soon I'll start throwing duplicates, but for now, just trying to get a picture of what each one flies like. So, start with the Chupacabra. Absolute beast, absolute beast. That one straight left. Even tried to put it on a bit of anhyzer. The Walker now. Made the mandatory, but that's short. Those 2 discs are very stable. Not a bad attempt. Alright, here we are at hole number 5. It is 293 feet, basically straight, and then you're looking for it to hook up at the end. I'm going to throw the Dos Equis and the Bowie on this one. This one I'm just going to be throwing lightly with little spin, hoping it just skips left right at the end. And this one I'll be trying to get there more in the air. So we'll see how these guys fly. I really liked that one. Out for the Bowie. Cranked it a little too hard, but the Dos Equis, that disc is money. So let's go putt those. Pretty much a perfect drive. All right, this is hole 6, about 350 feet away. Normally I would get a straight fairway driver and throw it up the left side and get some late, like pushing fade. But because there are a couple discs I haven't thrown yet, I'm gonna throw those up the risky line, which is the left line, to get a hyzer flip and turn. So the ones I'm gonna throw are the Dome and the Tumbleweed. So this is Alpha plastic, 6 swirls on this one. This is Bravo plastic. Both of them are very understable, so just trying to miss all the trees. Yeah, should be interesting. Probably couldn't see that, but that was turning really nicely. Probably would have turned a little too much, but I made the initial gap anyway. Here's the tumbleweed. This is just an awesome disc. Lisa Fakis, nice to be on your team. I'm actually going to test the stability of this one and go on the right side and try to get this thing to hyzer flip and just push forward and fade at the end of it. A little bit high, but it does have some stability to it, which is nice. All right, here we are at the dome shot. I'm just gonna get my copperhead, pitch it up there, try to save the par. That's a scary putt, but the thing forehands well. The tumbleweed is in there, just to pitch out. Use the tombstone just to do a little forehand, try to get right at the basket. Well, it wasn't a conventional line, but it's right under the pin, which is awesome. Haven't quite dialed in these jackrabbits. There we go. I really like them. I'm just getting used to them, especially coming over from the Keystone, which is a flippier putter. I have to really kind of plan for that fade and kind of spin them a little bit more, but I really, really like those guys. Hole 7 is a fun little poke and hope shot. I'm gonna throw two of my mid-ranges, the Texas Ranger and the Midi, throw them left, hope they fade enough right to get by the gold basket. Starting with the Midi. That was tracking. That was going to be really good. All right, Texas Ranger, 5.5 -1-1. So if I put it on enough hyzer, maybe it'll have that pushing finish. Well, the flight looked okay till it hit a tree. Boy, those jackrabbits are stable. All right, so the warbird came up just a bit short. Still a good try. Here we are, last hole on the course. 503 feet, pulling out both my warbirds. The wind is going left to right, so if I put it in enough anhyzer, it might hold the fade until late in its flight. That's the theory. If it works with the purple, I assume it could work with the blue, but if this fades out early, I'll switch my second disc. A little low, not bad though. Center cut fairway, that one's good. All right, so now that I've done the quick round, here are just my thoughts on the discs. Since this is here, let's just start with Chupacabra. This is going to replace your most overstable Firebird, probably a splice from what I've heard of the splice, although I haven't thrown it. This thing is incredibly beefy, it goes left right away, great for those shots that you really want the overstability. So most overstable Firebird is probably what that is going to be. The Lariats are going to be like your Savants. Both of them start out pretty stable, which is really nice. I really, really like these discs. The feel is great. I would say that these are closest to a Savant. The Dose X is pretty close to a new Thunderbird, a little bit slower, so maybe more like a T-Bird 3, but still, I would say it's a little bit more stable than that. This is going to be a go-to for sure. And then the Dome is one that I'm not sure I'm going to keep in my bag, at least for regular shots. The feel is a little bit funny. I would say it feels much like a Divergent Discs Tionic, which is an 8-speed disc, similar to this, but it feels okay. The plastic, Bravo plastic, feels really good. So I might keep it in my bag for utility shots, but really, it doesn't replace the disc that I had in my bag before. Moving on to distance drivers. The Tombstone is going to be like an Ape, but a little bit more overstable. I used to bag an Ape, and this is going to replace it, but this is better in my opinion because it's more overstable. My Ape was starting to get a little bit straight for something that I really wanted, for something that was supposed to be really overstable. So this fills that slot very nicely, good for forehands and backhands alike. The Bowie, I would say this is like an Axiom Discs. I think it's a Panic, 13.5, -1.3. Has a very similar rim feel in the hand. I'm going to have to do more testing on this one, but the way the Warbirds are flying, I'm not sure that this is going to be needed in my bag, but I might hold on to it just to have a backup for an overstable fast distance driver. This is like an overstable destroyer. This is like a slightly more beat-in destroyer. This one is going to be my favorite. The color scheme on it, purple with the silver stamp, is gorgeous. That's probably one of my favorites of the lot. And then the Tumbleweed, this is probably going to replace my Sidewinder that I had in the bag. We'll see if I can make it do the same thing, but I really, really like it. It's not as flippy as it says it is, but it just looks great. It feels good. I like that disc. That one's definitely staying in the bag. Excuse me. Moving on to mid-ranges. I didn't try throwing this thing forehand, but I think it can fly forehand, so this is probably going to replace like that Zone that was in my bag for some of those really, really beefy, overstable approach shots. The Midi is definitely replacing my Crow. It's not super overstable, but it feels really good in the hand. So it's a perfect shot that's kind of a forward-pushing fade at the end, so I really like that disc. The Texas Ranger is going to replace my somewhat flippier Crow that I had in the bag. Once I beat this thing in, there'll be a nice turnover. The Lone Wolf is a disc I'm not entirely sure will stay, but I really like the way this thing feels. I'm going to have to play around with it more when it's not as windy and there are not as many trees around. Alright, moving on to approach putters. The harpoons do feel like a squished zone. They're a little bit wider than a zone, but they got a similar rim shape, similar overstability, similar low glide. I like these a lot. They're going to fill that slot of the slightly forward pushing zone. This one is more of a backhand only disc. It's a bit domey, so the forehand kind of straightens out a bit. So if I want something straighter, I'll be throwing that harpoon in alpha plastic. This one goes left or right away, depending on how you throw it. So this one is also going to be a zone replacement for something that's a little bit slower than the Walker that won't skip as much. The Copperhead is going to be a replacement for my Jawbreaker zone, which flew a little bit straighter, but still with a bit of bite when throwing it forehand. It's got a nice feel to it, so I'll hold that one in the bag for now. Eventually one of those might get phased out as I find molds that I really like. And then the last approach putter is the Armadillo. This is like a more understable berg, which is nice. It's nice to have something that's going to fly straight on a point and shoot. And now finally for the putting putters, the misstamped blue bonnet here. Nice disc. I'll probably keep it as a throwing putter for something that's a dead straight approach. I had an Invader that I used for that shot. This is going to fill that perfectly. And then the Jackrabbits are going to be my putting putters. They're a little bit more overstable, but I feel like these are going to be really, really, really good putters to work with. So those are my impressions of the discs. I will be doing individual reviews of these throughout the season, but I just wanted to make this video showing you my new bag and just walking you alongside of me as I kind of learn them a bit. So thanks for watching this video. I will see you in the next one where hopefully we'll talk more about individual discs. So see ya.